So day 2 of making our own Claude bot on AWS. So we use EC2. We have S3 storage to be able to hold all your context and stuff like that. We're not reselling this, so we don't need Bedrock and stuff like that just yet that I know of. And that's just a different AWS service. So we did connect Claude with our API, but we also have Claude Code to where if we're at our computer, we can actually use that instead of using tokens. So we have it flipping back and forth. But again, we were doing everything in Claude. We got our Gmail connected. We got our Slack connected. So instead of using Telegram, I'm using a Slack channel, personal channel. And so we got the Google API connected. So go to Google Console, it walk you through the entire steps. But one of the biggest things is we're not putting in any code. So like I want to specifically state this, like I want to be able to do this to where like, hey, I'm not putting in any code, Claude is. And so, but we are using Claude on the terminal to be able to get all this done. So a lot of times I'm asking it questions. Hey, what's the best way to optimize you? How can we do the brain? How can we do all this stuff? So like what we've already created Albert is our AI agent, but then we have a whole bunch of other sub agents that we're preparing for. And so like SEO agent, web development agent, this agent, that agent. So we have a whole bunch of other specialized niche specific like marketing agent. We're creating specific, we're taking our database that we already have and kind of dividing it up into that. So that way each agent has their own knowledge base where they are specifically talking to that, and Albert can talk to that specific person based off the question. But with Slack, we created a specific channel to where I can communicate with Albert, ask him questions, stuff like that. And right now, I'm specifically telling him, hey, if there's something that we can repeat, if there's something that you see that we're doing over and over again that we can write a script for, write a script. And so that's where a lot of the time is taken to where, hey, we're writing a script, or he's actually going into my email, creating those filter parameters to where we aren't using tokens. So any way that we can make sure we're keeping it cost effective to where, hey, we're using our current systems to be able to do this. So, adding filters into Google, into Gmail, in Slack, it's monitoring, as messages come in. So we created an app in Slack to then, hey, as soon as a message comes in and he's tagged, boom, he can start working. So he's not having to do, so it's going to evolve, but that's kind of what we did in the past day. So day 1, got kind of infrastructure, but day 2 we got a whole bunch of nitpicky things, and I'm slowly working them up. And I kind of checked my Claude my Claude usage, and I'm at $1.67. So I would say probably a good thing. But we're using some of the other models, so we're not using Opus unless it's absolutely necessary. So we're using Sonnet for some writing. We're using Haiku for just general things. So all of those things are really, really dirt cheap, and you don't need Opus for every single thing. So that's where we are being very particular. Well, I'm being very particular. Say, hey, we don't need these. If you don't feel like we need these things to where, hey, you're reading a message, is this coming from a client? It's just reading an email and just saying, oh, this kind of looks like a client, and then giving it context to say, hey, this is a bill, or this is a receipt that comes in, so go put it in my folder. It made a filter for that. So again, just trying to utilize the systems and stuff that software already provides to us. So that end of my day 2. Stay tuned for day 3.